Hi folks, I'm Mike, and I hope you're well. As you probably already know, once the new Cakewalk Sonar and Next are released, they will no longer be developing the currently free Cakewalk by Bandlab. However, they have said that you will be able to continue to use it. But there's some important steps that you must take. The most important thing is that you do have the most up-to-date version of Cakewalk by Bandlab in order to activate it in the future. They will not allow you to activate older versions. Now there's a couple of different ways of doing this, but I'm going to show you my preferred method in this video. As well as that, I'm going to show you how to back up some of the setup files and show you how to go through the process of offline activation. So let's dive in. If you follow the link in the description down below, it's going to take you to this web page, and there's a couple of things I'd like to point out about this web page. First of all, it is the official Cakewalk forums, and second of all, the post that we can see here is from a member of staff, and they're announcing the new Cakewalk Product Center here with a download link towards the bottom. The reason I'm telling you all of this will become clear in just a moment. But if you follow that link, it's going to take you to this page where we see another download button. Now, it's worth noting at this point that we're no longer on the official Cakewalk site. They've decided to host this file on a Google Drive. Now, when you click on this download button, it's going to take you to this web page, and this is where some of you may be a little bit spooked because it says Google Drive can't scan this file for viruses. This file is executable and may harm your computer. The keyword here is may. They're not saying that it does have a virus. They're saying they haven't been able to scan it. But do note that we've got here from an official link on the official forums from a member of staff. So I believe this file is absolutely safe. Some members of the community have tested it with virus checkers and things and says okay. If you are at all spooked, then that's up to you. I can't take responsibility for any harm that comes to your computer, but I think it's absolutely fine. If you're happy with that, go ahead and click the download anyway button, and that's going to download the setup files. So if you open up your downloads folder, you will see the setup file here. I like to right click on these types of files and run as administrator just to make sure it's got all the privileges it's going to need. Click on yes to go ahead and install like so, and just your usual installation of things. It shouldn't take too long at all to install, and once you've installed it like I am here, you can finish and allow it to launch as well. I'll close this window here. So it says proceed with sign in. I'm going to say yes, and that's going to open up my web browser. And you can see here, it's just gone to my Bandlab login. I've got my details in there, so I'll just click on login. And after a few moments, when it's done logging in, you'll see this message here, and I can then go ahead and close my browser. Okay, now we are signed in, and I would suggest the first thing you do is actually click on this button here, which is to show add-ons, and that's going to show everything that you can now install. So the product center is going to check to see if you've got Cakewalk already installed, and if you need an update, it's going to show you a red sort of indicator here. Okay, in my case, I don't have anything installed, so I definitely need to download the update. So I'll start off by clicking on the download update button, and you can see the progress bar going along the bottom here. Now, just bear with me because in a moment I'm going to go through the installation of this, but I'm also got an important thing to say about the other things that we can see here. So don't run away quite yet. Okay, so now that is downloaded, we'll click on the install button. We'll quickly go through the installation process, which doesn't take very long with Cakewalk actually at all. I'm just clicking next, 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 and install, and that's going to go ahead and install Cakewalk, as it will for you as well. So once Cakewalk is installed, you'll note that there's now like a little green light next to its name, indicating that you do have the latest version installed. Now, even if you don't use all of these other components regularly, I would recommend that you go ahead at the moment for archiving purposes and download all of them at least, even if you don't install them. So I'm going to go ahead and click on these download buttons one after the other, and we'll fast forward the video until the point where I've done that. Now, although I haven't actually installed all of these extra components, I have downloaded them. And the reason I'm showing you this is because if you go to your downloads folder at the moment, I've got a shortcut to mine here, you'll see all of these files in here. So this is a handy opportunity to grab them all, and I'll just grab them all now, and put them in a place where you can keep them for future use. Okay, so I'm just going to grab them and drag them off to this folder I've got here for backup. Now, the reason you may do that is because if you want to actually install Cakewalk on a computer which, perhaps doesn't have an internet connection, or you don't want to connect it to the internet, then in a way, installing the product center doesn't quite make sense on that computer. So it's handy to have all of the installation files. However, you will need the product center to be in use on another computer, which is connected to the internet, for activation. And I'm going to show you how to do that offline activation now. So the first thing you want to do for offline activation is open up Cakewalk on the computer which is offline, and you can see that mine is not activated here. I'm getting a little warning in the bottom right. So I don't need this start screen. I'll close it, and the next thing I'm going to do is go up to help, click on help, and then go down to offline activation and click on export activation request. This is going to create a file for you, so you just need to choose a location here. I'm just going to save it in my documents for the moment, and then click on save. Now it's going to ask you for your Bandlab username, so I'll just grab that and paste it in there and click on OK, and it's going to create that file in the location that you chose. Now the next thing you want to do is go to that location and save that file, like on a USB stick or something, some way that you can transfer it to another computer which is online. Now with the computer which is online, you're going to have the Cakewalk Product Center installed and signed into, and once you've opened that, you can go to offline activation at the bottom here, click on that, and then select that file that you saved on your USB stick or whatever, select that and then click on open. Now it's actually going to generate another file which you can choose to save, again on your USB stick or wherever you want to save it. So click on save, and then you have that file, and you're going to need to take that back to your offline computer. So again, back on our offline computer with Cakewalk open, we can see it's still not activated. I'll close the start screen again. I'll go up to help, and then I'll go down to offline activation again, and this time click on import activation response, and then I can select that file which I created on my online computer, click on open, and then Cakewalk will be activated, and you can see the message appeared for that just there. Now, if you're confused about this or have any other questions about Cakewalk, I suggest you join my Cakewalk Facebook group. There's a link for that in the description down below. It's a really welcoming place, especially for beginners, and people often find the answers they want there. So definitely follow that link in the description down below. Now, don't forget, this is a new channel and I need your support to make it sustainable. So make sure that you like, subscribe, and leave a comment about something about this video down below. That really does help. And I'll see you in the next video.